Let's move to the Serie A right now in your bong. Of course, round-up of Serie A. AC Milan win the Scudetto. Inter, Napoli, Juventus are in the Champions League. Lazio and Roma are in the Europa League. Fiorentina are in the Conference League. Inter won the cup. Cagliari, Genoa, of course, and Venezia are relegated. Ciro Immobile, top scorer, 27 goals in
Sounds
31
like a broken record.
games.
Doesn't that happen every season?
Every season. Yobong,
Yeah, top
AC
man.
Milan. I mean, they were a sight for sore eyes when they won that league. They were shirtless.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody were in the stadium. They were. I wish the ladies were shirtless, but I can't just say that right about now. But AC Milan, after 11 years, have won the league. In Yobong, remarkable.
It is remarkable, but on all counts, on all levels, whichever way you want to look at it, I think it is incredible. It is just unbelievable, because when you look at that AC Milan squad, and they haven't gone and splashed 250, 300 million pounds, they've looked at the team very well, and credit must go to Stefano Pioli, because I remember the start of the season. At the end of last season, his job wasn't quite secured.
No, it wasn't.
There was talk of Ralph Ragnick taking his job at the start of the season, but somehow he managed to pull an incredible run, and they finished in the Champions League place, and they gave him the trust, and he took the team. Didn't quite start like a house on fire, but managed to pull the squad together, galvanize the team, picking up points, and my goodness, see where it's ended them. It's incredible. It's been an unbelievable season, because the blend of experience and youth, because when you have at the other side of things, Ibrahimovic at 40, Giroud at 35, a couple of players there over 30, and then you have the youngest, the Gen Zs, as you would like to call them, the younger players, the Rafael Leaos, they've been unbelievable. And you've got to say, for Stefano Pioli, it's one step where no one expected him to be.
That's true.
No one expected him to get to that step, and this is a huge one for his career, because when people question you, when people question and doubt what you can do at this level, to prove them in that manner, digging deep, and using the words of the great Diego Simeone, suffered through the season. They suffered. I saw them in games where they weren't spectacular, but they managed to eke out wins. I saw them in games where it wasn't quite clicking, but somehow they found the resources to win. And incredible story.
I mean, 2019, 2020, they were seventh. And because let's not say that this was a fluke for Stefano Pioli. He had it coming. It was seventh. Moved to the last season. I mean, it was a rebirth in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And at one point, last season they were second. So this season you see Olivier Giroud. I mean, you have to just talk about Olivier Giroud. I mean, this Milan team, they never relied on pace at all. And, a couple of years, 2 years ago, they were the youngest team in the Serie A. This season, they are not more young. They're like the fourth or fifth youngest team already in Serie A. So it's been interesting. Olivier Giroud has scored in important games this season. So, I mean, you talk about the team in itself. How did they do it? How did they kick Inter Milan out of that spot? And there was this resurgence in this Milan side.
Self-belief, amazing. Yeah. Straightforward, self-belief. I just feel that there's something self-belief does to a team. Once a team starts to believe in themselves and find the inner strength to say, we're going to pull together what we have and get it done.
Yeah.
We don't need to go and splash the cash. We don't need to go and get some marquee players. I mean, when you have Ibrahimovic in the dressing room, someone who's been there and done that, someone who was last there when they won the Scudetto in 2011. When you have people like that, and you have people like Olivier Giroud, has won the league in France, has won the Champions League with Chelsea, Europa League with Chelsea, has won the World Cup with France. That's huge and valuable experience. And when you have people like that, just being able to pull that self-belief together, and you see the video that was making the rounds outside the league where Ibrahimovic was addressing the players, and you could tell that there's something togetherness can do that individual talents cannot do. Because if you look at the AC Milan squad, I don't think you can particularly say they have got, individuals who are so decisive and key. I don't think you can say that, because you look at Napoli, I think they've got better individuals. You look at Inter Milan, clearly better players. But the AC Milan squad was just great determination, desire, a willingness to want to work, because they work through games. It's just working hard and working hard and working hard and winning in the end. And that is a great story.
Yeah, I know that Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans always have a soft spot for Olivier Giroud. And if you look at some of the key games, I mean, they were losing 1-0 at Inter at the start of the season, and they were deservedly losing that. They should have lost that game. Olivier Giroud came out, scores 2 goals in the blink of an eye. They win that one. They were one.
Was that the time to decide that? I don't think one single game decides titles.
No, against Lazio, they were 1 goal down. They go down.
Sandro Tonali, I remember that.
Olivier Giroud scores the equalizer. Then they score in injury time. Away at Napoli, it was Giroud who scored the goal again. So he scored in important games.
And it's very, very, very important because, like I said, I don't necessarily think that 1 or 2 games can decide who wins the title, but there's a belief you get when you win in those manner, like the Inter Milan win, the Lazio win, the Napoli win. When you beat those three, they beat Juventus too. When you beat those 3, you've got to start thinking, surely, this has to be our year. And that's what happens with a squad like that. You know, a squad you can look at and say an average squad. You know, goodness gracious, amazing. The gods of football will not forgive me if I don't mention Fikayo Tomori. I thought in the past season, even in the past, since he went on loan, I thought that Tomori has been one of the most important players in that AC Milan team. And he's still young.
Yeah,
he's still young, incredible. Because when they lost Simon Kjaer, the Danish defender, great guy, and Romagnoli, the Italian defender, lost his starting berth, Tomori stepped into that position and showed great leadership.
He did.
Great leadership. Unbelievable season he's got. And sad that he chose to play for England, because I personally think he's better than everything we have in Nigeria. I think he's better than our central defenders. And I like Trustekong, I like Leon Balogun, but I think Fikayo Tomori is better than both of them.
Can he still come back?
No, he can't. He's playing for the England national team, and
exactly.
We've lost him, but great guy.
Great guy. Let's talk about the relegation. Some interesting one. I mean, the coach of Salernitana.
Yeah.
His name is David Nicola. They've called him an extraordinary escape artist.
Yeah, he is.
And because if you look at that one, I mean, they lost 4-0 in their last game of the season, but Cagliari needed to win, did not win, and so Salernitana was saved. But very interesting, they've called David Nicola the Sam Allardyce of the Serie A. They call him the Allardaci.
Yeah, he's done that. Amazing. You find a way to do this Italian stuff. Brilliant.
So it's really interesting because he was at Crotone, and at one point there were 9 points. They had gotten 9 points in like 29 games. In the last games, they got 20 in the last 9 games, and they stayed up. And he did it for Crotone, he did it for Genoa, he did it for Torino.
Yeah.
And so they've managed to stay up. The thing about this guy is, Salernitana had 13 points from 23 games. Then he came in and saved them again. And so this guy, he's really, really brilliant.
You know, their managers were just specialists in trying to get certain things done. I guarantee you take him to Juventus, he fails. I guarantee you take him to Juventus.
Yeah, because he's a shovel. He just digs things out of holes.
He knows how to get teams out of trouble.
Yeah, he does.
And because I watched Salernitana, I think I watched their game against Napoli. I watched the 6-pointer game against, was it Genoa? Or I think Genoa, where they beat Genoa 1-0 or 2-1. I think I watched a couple of the games, and they just find the energy to stay in games. And what he's done, David Nicola, is unbelievable. And to stay in the Serie A against all the odds is just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And he's done a great job. And at this point, I'm sure he would be thinking, can I just step up from being the guy who digs teams out of holes and start pushing for
the titles?
Not the title. Come on, amazing. That's crazy. Maybe push teams into the other half of the table.
Okay, yeah.
Top 10,
fair enough.
Top 8. You know, can I have? Certainly can't do that with Salernitana because they do not have the resources to do that. You know, but certainly what he wants to do next season is not leave it to the final day of the season, because
No.
it can be gut wrenching.
Yeah.
It can really be nerve wracking. You know, when you need a win to stay in the league, and they were fortunate this time. They were fortunate because Cagliari just needed a goal, and they would have sent them to Serie B, but it's a story worth telling. I think Nicola did an incredible job last season.
Yeah, it's a story worth telling. When he did it for Crotone, he did this bike ride all around Torino and Crotone in honor of his son who died in a bike accident. This time, after saving Salernitana, he has promised to walk from the Salernitana arena to the Vatican. And if you check the Google map, it's about a 57-hour walk. So 57 hours. That's what he has said.
He'll be a brave man. I like to see him do that.
Yeah. So,
I don't doubt him though.
So that's what he's going to do. One more thing, let's just talk about Roma. Mourinho has done it again.
Yeah.
I mean, against all odds, this is Roma's first trophy in like 60 years. So, Roma, this season, they were abused. I mean, when they lost to that team who beat them like 6-0, Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, Bodo Glimt of
Yeah,
Norway.
it was embarrassing, to say the least. And they said everything to Mourinho. But he has come out against all odds and won a trophy.
But that's vintage Mourinho. That's why I will never understand how Tottenham fired him 6 days to a final.
I would never.
It's the most disgraceful decision I've seen him. Yeah, it is the most disgraceful decision I've seen a club chairman take. I've never seen a decision that disgraceful in my life. A manager who's got a proven track record of winning cup competitions has 6 days to play a final against one of his most revered opponents in Pep Guardiola, and you fire him. Absolute disgrace. I don't know what they would think. I don't care. I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't care. I'm happy Tottenham didn't win it. But for what Mourinho's done with Roma, you'd always think that, you never lose these things. People say he's not the manager he used to be. Maybe that's true. Maybe he's not at the level he used to be. Maybe that's true. That's subjective in my opinion. It's true. It may not be true. But Mourinho is a top manager. And he certainly will pull out his resources and achieve things. He's a guy who has got the pedigree, who's got the understanding of the game. He's got the ability to make players work, make players perform. And what he's done with Roma, I think he will go down at the club as a legend, because when you think about the fact that Roma haven't won a trophy in a very long time, that is just fantastic for Mourinho. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Roma team. Tammy Abraham deserves a special mention as well.
You spoke about Tomori. What about Smalling?
Yeah.
What do you think about
Smalling? I thought in the final Smalling was unplayable.
He was.
I thought he was unplayable. I've not seen Smalling play that good. I'm sorry, Chris, if you're watching. I thought Smalling, for a moment, looked like prime Alessandro Nesta. he was
oh my God.
He was just unbeatable. He was heading everything out.
With the way his dreads were flying up and down.
Blocking everything out. And Cyril Dessers, the Nigerian good guy, was just anonymous, because Smalling just didn't give him a sniff. And I thought the Roma team were fantastic on the day, and credit has to go to the manager.
It has to go. Of course, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, it's all about the La Liga.